Seems a shame not to let the porgs have their own lessons. So there they are on the first slide. They're going to be lesson 7. After all, they're a beast anyway. And this one's about revision of cash flow. So it's summarising what you've done so far with a little assessment in it. So here's a reminder, why complete a cash flow forecast? It is to identify the money that should be coming into a business, the inflows, and the money going out of the business, the outflows, over a period of time. It is to identify the impact of timings of inflows and outflows. And the last point, it's to plan for success in a business, i.e. e.g. to produce new goods and services, invest in new resources, expand, reduce activities. Boom! That is retained profit. If you don't know what that is, then you're going to need to mooch over to Aim B lesson 6. That's Edna from the Incredibles lesson. 7 steps, actions, statements, good things to do, 7 things you should revise which can solve a cash flow problem. From Frank. He's a Thunderbird, but it's best to call him Frank. Number 1, take out an overdraft to cover a temporary deficit. Remember, that's minus money. For long-term deficit, the minus money, the business will need to find ways to increase sales. So that's the Aim A, do some promotional work, and or decrease costs. So that could be that you are squeezing the profit margin. You need to reduce the sales price, but make sure you have some kind of profit so to keep the price over the cost of sales. Number 3, delay payments. Remember, that's using the 28-day payment period that most suppliers offer you. Collect money from creditors. The creditors are the ones who give loans to the business. Reduce or remove credit for customers. Remember, that's that sofa scenario that we hear a lot of. Buy now, get your sofa for Christmas and pay in 4 months. So that's reducing those credit terms. Hold less stock, because if you hold loads of stock, all your cash is tied up in stock, which then affects your liquidity, and you don't have any fixed assets or cash, current assets. And the final one, number 7, is actually sell the fixed assets, because that gets income for you as well. Task 7 then, the cash flow revision. This is it. These are your questions that you're going to have for your assessment, and the number of marks are at the end. Question 1, what is the purpose of a cash flow forecast statement? 1 mark. Try and do that without looking back. Give a definition of inflows and outflows. 2 marks. That's 1 mark per definition. List 2 inflows and 3 outflows a business may have. 5 marks, because you've got 5 things to write down. On a cash flow forecast statement, the opening balance of a month is equal to what? What other part of a cash flow statement is the same as the opening balance? Question 5, how do you calculate the net cash flow? That's the formula. And questions 6A and B, you need to explain the terms surplus and deficit. So that's about using key vocabulary. Your answers go on the next page. So here's all the right spaces for you. You've got a line for how many per point that the question on the other page asks for. And to save you flicking back and forth, then there's a little post-it note in the top right hand corner with the other swoopers reminding you what the questions were. So it's your turn to write the answers down. What you've completed in this lesson 7, which is all about lessons 6, 5 and 4. It was Swoopers revision. That's the pink bird, if you didn't know.